I usually murder names.
I usually forget them immediately. Welcome back, Inebri-art. This is Andy, as always. And today, it's been a while since we've had a stand-up comic on, and it's been way longer than that since it's been someone who isn't one of our friends locally. But today we are joined by Victor Varnado. See, I got
Oh
it
my God, you
right.
did it!
I did it,
Ah,
and then I totally fucked it up. Varnado.
funny.
But I mean, you're way more than just a stand-up comic. You have a ton of things on your credit. Can you tell our listeners just like a little bit about you?
Sure. My name is Victor Varnado. I am a very funny stand-up comedian. I am also a cartoonist for the New Yorker. I also am King Supernuts, the greatest rapper who has ever lived. Also, for a decade straight, I was the number one video result when you Googled how to draw a penis. I'm
Are
now
you
like number
serious?
three. Yeah, I'm number three now. So like if you Google how to draw a penis, then the video results, like I think number three is me now, but I was number one for a decade. Um,
That's like huge. I feel like that's a huge credit.
yeah, and I run the world's only worldwide video arcade.
Worldwide video art. You got to explain that. What is that?
So I have a video arcade, which is online,
Yeah.
where anyone in the world can just pick up a phone and play anyone else in the world and go up against anyone else for the high score. And I keep track of all the high scores.
Oh, cool.
So like if you go to High Score Game Arcade right now, according to High Score Game Arcade, you can see who the best player in the world is on the current game that we have chosen.
Okay. I got you. I see. That's kind of cool though. Wow. So,
It's fun.
I mean, I feel like we're kind of kindred spirits where it's like I have a thousand different things going all the time, and it's because like I don't like to sit still. I don't like to be bored. Mostly it's out of entertaining myself. I mean, is that kind of like what drives you? Like, where do you get your inspiration from? Where do these ideas come from?
Yeah, these are all things that I think are really good ideas. And then I'll take what I think is a good idea and I'll be like, okay, this is my good idea. And then I'll be like, okay, but generally my good ideas don't make any money. So then
Sure.
I'm like, okay, how can I take this idea and make money with it? And then I figure that out.
Yeah, and it's I always say that like the ones that don't work out, I just pretend like they don't exist anymore, and people be like, "Hey, whatever happened to yada yada yada?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I never did that."
I have a folder of just like a bunch of just like really fun, funny ideas. Actually, but I'm ready to revive any of them at any time. There's this one idea that I had, which I love so much, and I have like test footage of it, which is really funny. So I had an idea where I was just going to make short films with whoever responded first from Craigslist. And so then,
So would you give like the starring role to like the first person, and then kind of like
well,
go down the list?
Well, we ended up making some adjustments, but what we did was we had an audition and it was everybody from Craigslist at the audition. And then and then we auditioned everyone from Craigslist and we just picked the person who just we had the most fun with. And then
Yeah.
we cast them and it was really funny. It was
Yeah.
just it was the idea I had for a TV show called Cinema Frugali. Just just like we would just make movies with for no money and just like take the first people from Craigslist. It was really fun. And the final product was hilarious.
Yeah. I have a not spreadsheet, Word doc on my computer, and it's just like all these random ideas that I have, and you just made me think of like this one. I don't even know where it came from, but I either wanted to recreate kind of like those iconic scenes in movies or the movie trailers, but just with
Hmm.
sock puppets and call it sock
Hmm.
puppet theater.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like every once in a while you like go back and be like, hey, this needs to be expanded upon, or like, oh, that was a terrible idea. And I mean, do you do you think kind of like when you
You're gonna
put
you're
an
gonna hate this. I'll tell you why.
okay,
Oh, well, you'll
okay,
know why I tell you. Because you hate hearing things where people have like a very similar idea, but they just moved forward with it
oh,
as
that
is.
happens all the time,
So I
all
had
the
a thing
time.
called True Puppet Theater,
Oh,
which
okay.
was
Okay.
retelling crimes with paper puppets. and I think I won like an honorable mention at the New York Television Festival with it
Oh,
as
okay.
a thing. Yeah.
I can
I think if you
delete
search for
that. Yeah,
True Puppet Theater and my name, you'll find the trailer for it.
yeah. But I mean, that's a really interesting thing that like I've seen happen um a lot, and even with stand up comics is there's a local comic here in Boston. His name is Mo Musa, and he does a whole bit about how he takes um like a hair loss pill, and one of the side effects was low libido, and he didn't care because he didn't know what that meant. And he's like, I take this pill to be more attractive to women, and now I'm not attracted to women. And then like 6 months later, I went and saw Jim Jeffries when he was on tour, and it wasn't word for word, but it was like the same premise, and it's got like. Do you ever run into that kind of challenge, like where you're like you have this, you're like this is a great idea, and then you kind of like do this the initial Google search, and you're like, well, shit,
Well, all the time, all the
yeah,
time. I mean, I think because like, I mean, if you're talking about for instance, that libido thing, like it obviously makes sense. Like if you're taking a pill to make yourself more attractive to women, like to give you more
oh
hair,
yeah,
and
it's
then
such a
gives,
it's
yeah,
such an obvious
so it
premise,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So like, I think that for me, like that's the type of joke that I would write if someone were paying me to write for TV. Like if I was writing for like the Tonight Show or something like that, I would
yeah,
definitely do a joke like that. But for like an on-stage joke, I would think I would have to be like a little more complicated and or nuance. If I was for stand up, for me
yeah.
though.
Wh-
Yeah.
so what how like what's your process for writing a joke? Like where do you, is it like mostly personal story based type stuff, or
I can write jokes about anything, I think. It's just that it has to be something that genuinely made me laugh really hard. Like when I first thought of the idea. And when I'm talking about jokes, I'm just like, I just want people to feel that feeling that I felt when I laughed really hard. And I want them to
yeah,
feel exactly the way I felt. And so that's like what I'm trying to do when I tell a joke and get it across to people. So, but it could be anything. Cause like sometimes when you're like hanging out with your friends and like the moment is just right, like it could be a running gag that makes no sense, you know, like, and you guys are all making chicken sounds and somebody just makes a chicken sound and everybody just breaks up laughing because of what happened before. Like I try to get the audience like in that type of mood.
yeah. So it's almost like that. You want them, instead of having to say you have to be there, you want them to kind of like experience the same thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. I think that you had to be there or is not the right way. I also like I love jokes that are smart. I love intellectual jokes, but I also love them to hit really hard. And I love it for when like I like it when it's a smart joke, but it's also like really a guttural smart joke.
yeah, yeah. And it's, humor is such an interesting thing, and like I love to kind of like retell the stories that happen, those kind of off the cuff moments that you can't like plan. So in our studio we have like a little recording space, and there's like one wall of alcohol because we record a bar podcast as well. And
Hmm.
so it was like around the holidays, and I was here at the studio with my kids and my youngest boyfriend, and it was like this word game where you had like, there'd be like a
Wait, your
category.
youngest kid's boyfriend or your youngest boyfriend?
No, my youngest child's boyfriend.
Okay. You don't have like a bunch of boyfriends in your
I
family.
don't have. I am completely single. um, and so it was like you had to have a category. One of the categories was something in the room, and he's like tequila, and I'm like, nope, there's no tequila in here. And his response was, there has to be, and it kind of like pissed me off a little bit. But then I'm like, but then I was like, oh shit, there is tequila. Like I love those kind of like crazy moments that just kind of happen in an instant, and you're just like, well, now I got to tell everybody that stupid ass story, you know.
That's
And I
funny.
think I like that it's somewhat self-deprecating too. Like I think that's really my style, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like to take myself seriously. So you do so many different things. Like, do you have like a particular favorite? Like, what is the best thing about your job, I suppose, or jobs?
Um, I just love being creative. So like my whole company is geared toward giving me opportunity to just be creative and nerd out about stuff and just like take hours creating something. So like that, yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like if it, I don't care if I'm writing a joke or making a video game or drawing a picture, like whatever I'm doing, if I have like, I just like to work toward having an extended period of time to just like really just like dig in and do whatever kind of art thing I want to do.
And that's fun. I mean, that's kind of like the premise of this podcast was like that all creative people are essentially the same, and we're looking for that kind of same experience. Like I like to cook too because it scratches that same kind of creative itch.
Hmm.
So kind of jump from thing to thing. Um, and according to Wikipedia, you worked on a film with Stan Lee. Is that?
That is true. The film never came out. It was so when Stan Lee was fighting with Marvel and he started Power Entertainment, for a while he's like, I'm gonna develop my own properties. And then they hired writers
Yeah,
to take some of his properties that he made up and write movies. I was one of them. He had a movie called The Golden Leopard, and it was about a woman who had leopard powers. And so funny. So it was like a black woman who had leopard powers because it's Stanley, you know.
yeah, okay.
And then and then so he gives me like a page treatment, and then I have to write like a full script, and then his name goes at the top on the script. That's how it works, you know.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
fine.
yeah, yeah.
And so I only had like two meetings with him. But it
So,
was fun.
I mean, are you? Yeah, I mean, you've used the term nerd out. Like, are you that kind of like comic book nerd kind of?
Yes. Yes, I am. I was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a very big deal for me.
And is that how you got into art? I mean, I had a very much similar experience. I mean, I shouldn't say similar, but I had that kind of experience. I grew up like 2 blocks from a comic book store, and I remember I would go up there and I'd not buy lunch at school so I could spend my lunch money on comics.
Yes, that was definitely me. I was a big fan of like comics, and then I started getting into like I remember I was into this one comic which is so weird, and like a lot of times I tell people about it, and like a lot of people have never heard of it. It was from Marvel, and it was called Alien Legion. Do you know this comic?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, dude, I loved Alien Legion.
I don't think I ever read it, but I do remember the kind of like the logo.
Yeah,
Um,
and the characters all look so cool, and I was like, this is awesome. And it was, but it was like, it was basically like Avengers in space.
oh
That
sure,
was
yeah,
basically it. That was
yeah.
basically, well, Avengers or more like X-Men in space because it was more gritty. And they had a character who was a direct ripoff of Wolverine called Jugger Grimrod.
Jugger Grimrod. That is
Yes,
a terrible name. But I
it
feel like
is.
that there was that era where like every comic book team had like the blatant, just different enough not to be sued Wolverine character.
Yeah, but this was Marvel.
Yeah, well, I mean, true.
It
So
was
I
Marvel.
suppose they wouldn't sue
He looks
themselves.
like
That's right.
Jugger Grimrod. What? Like if you search for Jugger Grimrod, he looks like Weapon X. It's like such a rip off of their own stuff.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's interesting now because like so many of those properties, not that particular property, but the Marvel ones are becoming like movies and stuff, and it's people talking to like the superhero burnout. Are you kind of like over the superhero thing, or are you?
Oh no, not at all. I'm so into superheroes. I love
Yeah,
superheroes a lot, and I love weirdo superhero stuff. Like I had all of Invincible before it became a TV show. Like I had every issue because I love superheroes and I love like things that fork from the superhero world.
yeah. I didn't. I only. I think I watched the first season of that, and I believe more has come out, but I haven't committed time to it. I do like Kirkman stuff quite a bit though.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
Robert Kirkman does some great stuff. He's done some great stuff.
yeah, I remember I met him at was it? I don't think it was called Boston Comic Con. It was like some other knockoff. There were like comic book convention turf wars going on in Boston at the time. It was a whole thing. But he was at one of them, and it was just like I had the opportunity to get him to sign Walking Dead #1. I'm like, I don't really want to spend $100 on a comic. and like now that would be a no brainer.
Oh, you didn't do it?
No, I don't even know why I talked myself out of
Oh,
it. You know.
oh no. Were you aware like of what comic books like how much they can be worth at the time?
Oh, for sure. But I think this was pre Walking Dead being made into a TV show. So I was like, I mean, it's a cool
Oh yeah,
book,
he
but
didn't
I
have
don't
any
think,
hits yet.
yeah. So I was like, I mean,
I
yeah, it was just kind of
wonder how close it was. I wonder if he was selling them that much because he was like he knew what was coming up.
it was shortly thereafter, I think that it was announced. And like,
Oh, he probably
there
knew. He
was,
knew.
I don't even know what he was charging for his auto. Like the book was at like another vendor but yeah, it was just one of those, you know. But I mean, it's easy to look back and be like, oh, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But
Of course. Of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
So what are you working on now currently that you can talk about if there's any?
Let's see. I would say the the biggest thing I'm working on right now is the video games, the video game arcade that I was telling you about. We're actually closing a deal right now to where I'm going to be making a video game that is going to be at South by Southwest, and then everybody at South by Southwest will be playing against everybody else at South by Southwest. So
Interesting.
we actually already made the deal. We already made the agreement with Southwest, but they have to like their panel has to like agree after you agree. You know, so it's like we're waiting for that one last call to be like, and yes, we
Yeah.
said yes already, but yes for real.
It's one of those like it's probably
Yeah,
going to happen. Let us go out of the room and talk about you for a bit.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes,
Understandable. Now, is it like
exactly.
a app for your phone, or are you gonna?
Sort of. So, well, remember how I said that we have the arcade, you can everybody can play each other.
Yeah.
So So as part of the technology behind this arcade I built is I can do subgroups which so everybody who scans the same QR code only plays those people. So if you're at South by
Oh.
Southwest and then you scan a certain QR code, you're only playing other people at South by Southwest. And then we have leaderboards at South by Southwest, which will show where you are against everyone else at South by Southwest.
Oh, that's so it's like a
And
geo
those will be
fence
all,
kind of thing. That
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
oh, that's really interesting.
And then there'll be prizes.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
What what how would you describe the game? Is it like an old school arcade game? Is it a first person shooter? Like,
I like to make arcade games. So like there's four games on the site right now. Of the four games on the site, I made three of them, and the fourth one was actually made by like a fan who
yeah.
we had a game jam, and then I also like polished it at the end to make sure, make it nice.
Yeah.
So the four games on the site are Break Invaders, which is half Breakout, half Space Invaders.
Okay.
Then one game is called Fruits and Dragons, which is like half Dungeons and Dragons and half Candy Crush. Uh,
Okay.
one game is called Joey Kramer's Rockin' and Roastin' Coffee because Joey Kramer of Aerosmith
Sure.
hired me to make a video game around his brand, his coffee brand, and so I made a barista game, which is kind of like the game Tapper. Do you remember the game Tapper?
I love Tapper.
Yeah, so I made a barista game
Uh,
like that.
that's
The
funny.
so yeah, I
Yeah.
make video games and put them on the site, and then people can play them.
I didn't even know Joe Kramer had a coffee brand. I feel like that would be
Till he hired me, and neither did I.
well, it's like I live just so like most of those guys live in a town called Marshfield, Mass. And it's
Hmm.
just like they're kind of we don't have like Bigfoot sightings. We have Aerosmith sightings where people will be like, "Oh, I saw um, Steven Tyler at the grocery store, or, this place," and so it's just kind of like they're usually like right in the forefront of everyone's conversation. So it's just interesting that like it's not a bigger deal around here.
Yeah.
You know, figure he'd be competing against Duncan's or something. That's interesting. But I do love Tapper. I remember the first time I played Tapper, I was away. Like my parents took us on vacation to like the middle of nowhere, Vermont, in this like resort hotel, and there was literally nothing to do, but there was that one arcade game, and I just like
Oh, that's
quarter
funny.
after quarter after quarter, and I would say to people like, "Oh, do you remember that game Tapper?" And everyone's like, "I don't even know what you're talking about." Um, but there's a place. Have you ever been to in New Hampshire? There's a place called Fun Spot.
Fun spot?
Fun Spot, yeah.
No, that sounds awesome though.
It
Because it
has
sounds
an
fun.
yeah, well, it has an arcade museum. So it has like
Oh,
every arcade game you can possibly think of, and
that's
Tapper's in
amazing.
there, and like the original Pong console and Tron I loved.
I was a
And
fan of the original Tron. I love the movie too. I have the poster on my wall, but I love discs of Tron as far as arcade games go.
yeah, yeah, I love that movie, grew up on that movie. I took my son to see the sequel, which was surprisingly good. Like I feel like it fit the Tron story better than I was expecting.
I like the sequel. I didn't like it as much as the original Tron. And then the third one, I was like,
I
I
haven't
mean,
even seen it. Yeah.
it was like I I I'm so I'm a big nerd, and if you put anything in front of me that has anything to do with superheroes, Tron, or whatever, I will probably watch it no
Yeah.
matter what. I'm just being honest, but I also know the difference between well written and executed stuff and not. And I would say that the third movie was like the effects were great. The
Yeah.
story was not great.
Yeah, and is Jared Leto in that, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, that was, I think, what
Yes.
turned me off. I'm like, "Ugh, I really don't want to see that."
Yeah,
But
I know. I said the same thing. I was like, why
yeah,
is this dude in here?
yeah,
I was
that
like,
made no sense to me.
the
Um,
last time he was in a big like movie was like Morbius or something. And I was like, yuck.
oh God, yeah.
Like, get that
Um,
dude out of here.
and then the effects now. I remember when the third Star Wars prequel came out, everyone's like, "Oh, the effects are amazing." I'm like, they have to, like, you can't have bad, like, there's no excuse for bad special effects anymore, especially for
Hmm.
big budget movie like that. So I find them to be less impressive if they unless they're like really really groundbreaking in a way.
Hmm.
Like Avatar, I thought was not a great story, but visually was a phenomenal, beautiful picture.
Hmm.
And like when Lord of the Rings came out, when in the beginning Frodo jumps into Gandalf's arm, like my jaw hit the floor because I'm like, I don't know how they did that. Like, they're did they shrink
Hmm.
him down? Like, it was a perfectly executed magic trick. Like, I didn't have any idea how they did it, and like that's the stuff that blows me away.
I was always thinking about Lord of the Rings because they talk down to the hobbits a lot. They're always like
Yeah,
my
they
little
do,
hobbit,
don't
and he's
they?
like,
Yeah,
I'm 300 years old, dude.
yeah, yeah, they do.
He's always like talking down to the hobbits. I think it's just really funny.
Yeah,
It's just like part of it's just like for instance it's like the type of joke I would do on stage about Lord of the Rings, like how much they talk down to the hobbits. That's the type of thing I mean I don't do one, but like that's the type of thing I would do as a joke
yeah.
on stage. I don't really care, but it's funny.
Yeah, oh, I almost so I also am a big nerd, and I'm running a D&D game, and
Nice.
there's they're not they're not talking down to them. So every D&D party befriends an NPC. My party took it one step further and just befriended one of the minis that happened to be on the mat as kind of like just standard buys. Like, it wasn't even an NPC. It's And so the that has now become an NPC and is kind of following them around. And I almost said something I shouldn't, and then I realized that my editor is also playing that game, so I can't really go into
You're
it.
almost gonna
But
spoil it.
yeah, I almost
Ha
said something.
ha.
I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't say that.
That's
But
really funny.
there's some distrust with that character now, and uh they do kind of initially they were kind of talking down to him a little bit. Now they're kind of like, I don't know, do we kill him?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
There, I play role playing games too, and then I'm also the GM often, so I know the
Yeah,
parties. I think the thing that my party loves to do, which is so stupid, and they do it to me all the time, is they ask everyone's name.
um
Like, what's
yes.
your name?
And then you have to make it up on the spot. And then um they did that to me recently where like a character was discussing their brother, and it was actually that same character, and they're trying to like catch him in a lie. So they're like, "What's your brother's name?" And then you're like, "Shit, he's not lying. I don't know it." So I just I went the exact opposite of fantasy. I was just like, Mike. His name's Mike.
That's funny.
Yeah. But my general rule is like everybody plays Dungeons and Dragons the same. You know, like this party is essentially seven people who have never played, and my editor who's pretty well versed at playing. I brought him in as kind of like a ringer.
Which is
And
why I have made my rule system. I whittled it down to simple rules for everything, and I call it assholes and castles. This is really funny. I have a mug
okay.
exactly like that. Where is it?
Oh, do you really?
Yes, I have a little
Is
goblet
it
mug. Hold on.
is it from uh Wild Bill's root beer?
Shit. Yes, it. Hold on a second. Hold on one. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Sure.
It is.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think you look like you have a different logo on than mine. I don't know. Can't
Um,
You can make it out.
yeah, no, it looks different. It looks different. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yours has got like guns on it. Yours is cool.
There you
Um,
go.
yeah, I
Hilarious.
remember the first we were set up at a con once, selling, doing the kind of fan art thing and whatever, and we were set up directly across from the Wild Bill trailer. And for our listeners who don't know, they generally travel to different events, and you buy the mug, and then you can drink as much root beer as you want. And they have
Hmm.
like cream soda and orange soda and whatnot. And it looks like an old school saloon, and we might as well have been invisible because we had people there, like friends of ours, looking for us, and we're like, we're in aisle 17 or whatever. And you'd see them walk by, and as soon as they got like within eyesight, they just drew their eye to this giant saloon, and they'd walk right by, and you'd be like, hey, we're over here. And the guy running it felt so bad. He's like, no one was like over at your table today, so he gave us the mugs. That's
Oh,
funny.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why I have this one. I think I might have got it from a friend, actually.
yeah. I
But
mean,
so
they.
I've never been. I've never been.
Oh, okay. If they do like all the Comic Cons and stuff like that, so
Oh, okay,
it's
awesome.
like a portable trailer that they pull in and then just like unfold it like origami, and it's got like a saloon, and then there are kegs with like taps, and you can like just fill up your cup whatever, and you just pay for the cup, and you get all day. You can just go back and just fill up.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
actually starting to be at a bunch more Comic Con, so I can't wait to. Cat, if I sneak this in, can I just get get more?
I think if you go, there's like if you have your own mug, then there's like like a cheaper fee. Like if it's $20 for the mug, it's like 10 for a day pass or whatever. And they like I think they stamp your hand. Not, it's been so long, I can't really remember how it works exactly, but
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna
yeah,
definitely do that. That's awesome.
yeah.
I love root
And you're
beer.
like by the end of the day, you're like, I think I have diabetes. I've drank 15 root beers today. So, but where are you located? What Comic
New York.
Con? New York. New York Comic Con is supposed to be killer. I've never been to that one.
It can be a lot of fun. I went there dressed up once as with my girlfriend at the time. We were Rick and Morty.
Oh,
She
nice.
was Morty, and I never want to do that again because I did not realize that every 3 feet someone would stop you for a photo. Because I was like, I just want to go and be in costume, but I did not
Yeah.
want to take pictures with everybody. So,
Yeah, it's and I know some have done have made some changes to where they have like photography areas. Like if you want to go and hang out and do photos, you do like you go there.
hmm.
Because like selling artwork and stuff, you get, the random Deadpool or whatever walking by your table and someone be like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And so they stop to take a photo, and then 900 people stop to take photos with them to the point
Hmm.
where you have to be a jerk and be like, "Hey, move it along." Like you're basically shutting down my table, and it's a weird it's weird to see the whole Comic Con thing change over the years. I mean, I used to go at a comic book shop for years,
Hmm.
and I used to go back when if there was one girl there, like the whole place would be like, "There's a girl over there, and I think she's here by her own free will," that kind of thing. And now it's just like everybody's there.
Yeah, I like how it's what it has become.
Yeah.
Uh, Nerd culture, that is.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's kind of you know integrated into everything. Yeah, and it's so much more. And that's the thing is like the D&D, like the people that we're playing with. I run these D&D parties at bars and stuff, and people pay because so they've never played before and they can kind of get the feel of it. And I keep saying to people, I'm like, yeah, I run into frequently very attractive women at bars who are like, "This is my DM," and I'm like 14-year-old me would not believe this story at all.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Um.
Wait, where are you again? You're in
So I live in Plymouth, which is about
Mhm.
30 minutes south of Boston, 45 minutes south of Boston.
Oh,
So,
okay. Well, if I ever come through there, you'll have to DM me.
oh hell yeah, yeah. That's
I'm an
what is
unruly player though.
aren't they all? I don't mind unruly. I just the ones that are just I the one thing that and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Is I have a tendency to say something that gets people focused on something that's completely not important.
Hmm.
Like you happen to describe a door a little too well, or mention a lantern, and now they're like searching at a neighborhood for 45 minutes trying to find a specific lantern, and you're like, didn't mean that. That was just a throwaway thing.
That's funny. I think my favorite parts in games are when everybody but one player is is aware of an obvious trick, but everybody else thinks that it's obvious, and the one
Yeah.
player falls for it and ruins things for the entire party.
I like that sort of same thing when it is someone being exactly who their character should be. Like I don't often play, but this one particular game I was playing, and it was me. I think I was a ranger of some kind, a rogue and a paladin. And
Mhm.
so the rogue and the paladin had like a 7 intelligence, so he basically kicked every door in. And they got into an argument over some like holy garments that were like jewel encrusted, and the paladin threw him on a fire and whatever. And like above the table, the one guy's like, "Sorry." He's like, "No, man, like that's what your character would have done." And so like we're going through the dungeon, and we get to this one point, and the paladin's like, "Hey, can you check this door for a trap?" And the rogue checks it, and the DM's like, "It's trapped." And the rogue goes, "All clear." And it almost killed the entire party. Like that to me, that is like just those perfect, like goofy, silly stories that then you tell, and that stuff I love. You know,
That's hilarious. That's a fun story. I love a good D&D story.
yeah.
Um, this is so I also create apps that help people write books. But one of
Okay.
the things I've been doing is using the transcript of my RPG stories to turn them into fiction novels. It's really fun.
Yeah, I could
Yes.
totally see that. Yeah, for sure. And
Yes, because I can just make AI go through your entire story and then write a draft of a novel based on it. That's hilarious.
that's
It's so much fun. It takes a little bit of prep because what I do is first I put it through a translation system and then I make sure that every line is labeled as people's characters
yeah.
to help the AI recognizes that, or not
Oh,
translation,
sure. Yeah.
transcription. Sorry, transcription, and I make sure that every line that people say is labeled as their characters, and then I have to like this is super nerdy. So then I have to let the AI know, hey, this is from a gaming session, so there out of character moments and to separate those from the in character moments. And
Yeah.
then you can take it and start turning it into chapters.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. And it's just the most fun, I think. And one of those things that I always know, like, I'm in the right game is when you have someone who's like, I'm Uthgar the barbarian, and then someone in our new game, we have someone whose character is named Orc Chop. And then we have a rogue named Joe Rogan.
Nice.
Like, yeah, and I'm like, this is if you have a good pun name, I'm in. That's what I want to hear. No, it's going to be the right kind of silliness. Where are you performing stand up right now? Are you just in New York? Are you going on tour
I'm
or
in New
doing?
York. I'm in New York. I'll actually be performing a show that is also going to be partially online
Okay,
called Summary of the Internet Live, which is basically a current events comedy show with special guests.
nice, awesome.
Yeah, it's like pretty
Uh,
simple stand up about current events. It's really
yeah,
not a
and
not
that's
rocket science.
yeah. Well, it's honestly, I think it's a lot harder because the way with our like news cycle is like that current event joke is good for what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks maybe.
I'd say yeah, but I mean, but that's what we do. We'll put up a joke. We'll do a joke and put it up while it's hot.
Yeah,
That's the whole idea. It's the whole idea is like this is a show that I do because it's easier for me to like it's much easier for me to like for a lot of people to see me online than it is for people to see me in person.
yeah.
But it's more fun to perform in person than it is online.
Oh,
However, if
sure.
I just make a show where every week I do stuff in person and then I put the best of that online, best of both worlds.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we started getting involved in the stand up thing because a friend of mine from Cape Cod, who's a stand up comic, um, I was not working, he was not working, and I texted him. I'm like, "Hey, have you heard of these online comedy shows?" And he's like, "Yeah, I heard some are fun." And so then we started. We called it the non-essential comedy show because all of us were non-essential,
Hmm.
and that ran for most of COVID. And then when things started opening up again, I'm like, this has been fun. Let's do more of this. And I had brewery connections, so we started running kind of all over the South Shore, and it is when it's right, it's great. It's really
Awesome.
fun. Some of those I bomb in different ways being the promoter, like when they're performing to four people, that's when I feel like I've bombed. But yeah, it's been a blast. I got to meet some cool people, and yeah.
Sounds
So,
awesome.
where can people go to find out where you're performing or more about the South by Southwest thing?
If you want to find out more about the South by Southwest thing, just sign up at High Score Game Arcade and you'll get the information about it from our email list.
Yeah. Is there like do you have like one central website that people can go to find out? I mean, you're doing so many
Everything,
things. Yeah.
supremerobot.com.
SupremeRobot.com. Nice. Awesome, man. Like this flew by. I feel like that happens anytime you start talking nerdy. Um,
Yeah, we were going to
but
our
yeah,
favorite things that PCs do. They make
yeah.
us laugh as DMs. It's hilarious.
I had oh my god, I'm so bad with names. He voiced Invader Zim. Um, I had him on the show, and all we did was argue about Star Wars the entire time.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but I want to say thank you for coming on. It's been a blast.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, if you're ever coming out here, hit us up. We'll play some DM. We'll take in a comedy show.
100% will do.
Awesome, man. And listeners, you can find us again back here next Monday, and we'll see you then. And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/Inebri-art to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at Inebri-art or at Inebri-art6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebri-art, and all the other shows on the Inebri-art Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.